morning. Good morning. How are you this morning? It is Saturday and it's another PS to our real estate week, Postscript Saturday, where I share a little bit of behind the scenes with you about Love to List, as well as informational moment on sharing with you, the consumer, as to the value a professional realtor brings to you when you're buying or selling or investing in real estate. And I'm so excited to be with you here today. I had a really wonderful week. I actually was away this week on a very special little getaway, and it was an opportunity to go and visit my nephew and their third little child. They had two boys and they just had a little girl, and it was so special to spend time with family. And one of the things that I have really learned in the real estate industry after 35 years is, when I first started, I have a great story about how for several years I was doing everything and trying to be everything and all things to everyone. And at the time, I thought I was doing, right by my clients and customers. In the end, I realized that I wasn't really serving my clients at the optimal, because I was experiencing burnout and I was spending all of my time doing real estate instead of prioritizing my family and friends and my personal interest. And so I think it's really important to as realtors to put in our calendars those big rocks, right, of and those priorities. And one of them is spending time with family. Now, do things come up when I'm away? Because of the nature of our industry, we are not a 9 to 5 punch in, punch out clock, career. And so, there are several people. I have several friends that when they go to work, they're at work, and then when they're done, they're done. They never have to think or do anything about their work while they are off. And of course, we're here oftentimes when people are off. So anyways, my point is I have really learned to put in those big rocks and prioritize family and friends and personal interests, at the same time serving my clients at a high level. So I have processes in place, I have people in place to take care of anything in my absence. So anyways, it was really a special week. So there's not too much behind the scenes other than we had lots of success with our seller that just sold in Reston, and we found her a place to live in Reston. And so really super excited about that for her. So anyways, my topic today is I've been going over the 3 P's, how to have a positive real estate selling experience. I say we always need the 3 P's. And the P's are pricing, presentation, and promotion. And when I talk to you today about promotion, you may be surprised. It might not be exactly what everyone thinks of right off the bat. Of course, everyone thinks about the advertising and the glitz and glam, right? You think about being online at those third-party websites, right? Whether it's Redfin, Zillow, Trulia, whatever it is, those third-party websites that you guys, go to, and that's where you find your first home, approach is going to be on those third-party websites. But there's a lot of other avenues and there's a lot of other tools in our real estate promotional toolbox. And but before we get to all the different areas of promotion, really promotion starts with the first line of defense, if you will, or offense, is you have to know your product. As a realtor, one of the things I talked with you about is our kickoff meeting. And it is so important when meeting with sellers to really understand that product and to get to know that home and to get to know not only the features of the home, because we're going to promote those features, but also promote the lifestyle of that home. So in our kickoff meeting, in our questionnaire, we have getting to know your home and getting to know you. But we want to know, what you loved about living in your home. What are some of your favorite features of the home? Do you love about the area, the community, the actual community that you live in, and then beyond that actual subdivision that you live in, what do you like about the overall area? What have you enjoyed? Are you a recreational person? Is it important to you have the best shopping nearby? I just recently did a kickoff meeting and she was like, we have Trader Joe's, we've got Mom's, we've got Lidl, we've got, all the major grocery stores, Costco, within 5 minutes from where she lives. So that was important. So one of the things that I've learned over the years is that like people tend to buy like people's properties. So we really want to delve into getting to know the home, getting to know you, getting to know the area, so that we can really promote the actual lifestyle along with the features and the specialness of the home. So that is where we kind of begin. And that's what I want to really kind of emphasize, that when you see the product at the end, like the promotional product at the end, there's actually so much that goes into that before you actually ever see that promotional piece. So the second thing that I wanted to talk to you about, and I actually did an episode on this, is first impressions. Oh my gosh, right? First impressions. You've heard me talk about stopping the scroll as people are stopping through the scroll, no matter where you are. You want those people to be like, wow, that's a beautiful property. So you heard me talk about presentation last week and my passion about, oh, hey, Deb, about making sure we do everything right and how we stage a home. Even in the great markets, we really want to put our best foot forward. But with that, once we have a beautifully staged home, I cannot tell you enough. I feel like I could get on some rooftops and, shout it out to the world that professional photos are so important. Now, do homes sell when agents take photos with their cell phone? Yes, I'm not saying they don't. But what I am trying to leave you with as a consumer, the impact that it's about all the details. And we don't like to leave any stone unturned here at Love to List. And we want to make sure we do every piece of those details with high standards. And so professional photos do make you stop the scroll. I don't think, a photo of seeing a toilet shot and a mirror and the person in the picture, taking the picture, you can see the person. I don't think that that's like a wow factor, right? And we're trying to go for the wow factor, the really pleasing to the eye, right? So we use an amazing photography company, and I've talked about that company before. But what they do different than some of the other photographers in the area is they have fusion photography. And what that means is they stand in an area of the room and they take different photo light shots, like multiple, so that then it gets fused together. So it gives you a real quality photo. There's not a lot of fudging in our photos. They're not too bright, they're not too dark. They're like a good representation, so that when people walk into the home, basically they're actually seeing what they see online. Sometimes there's some fudging that happens, that it's not the same experience when they get into the home. And that is part of promotion, is making sure that the photo experience matches the in-person experience, because you don't want to let someone down. You don't want to have such these fancy pictures that kind of don't represent it properly. And then the buyer walks in and is like, oh, this is a lot dingier than, or whatever. So you want to have that match the photos and the experience walking through the home. The other thing is the angles of the pictures, right? Those are really important. In our photography company, they take several different angles. So for instance, when we put a house on the market, there may be 50 photos. Well, we may have had 150 shots. So we go through it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that we are getting the right photos, the right amount of photos. It's a balancing act. You don't want too many, you don't want too little, depending on the property, right? And again, I want to emphasize this, which I meant to in the beginning. Every promotional plan is a case-by-case basis. It's not all size fits all, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about that. But anyways, so you want a good balance of photos. And my number one peeve in the real estate business actually is sequencing. I believe in proper sequencing. And what I mean about that is when you walk through the home, we want to do that for you online. So you see the house out front, and then you open the door, you see the entry, and then you go into the main level of the home, and then you go to the upper level of the home, then you go to the lower level, and then to the exterior. And that is the proper way to sequence online. And you may not realize, like when you're looking online, you may not like, oh, hey, this property is really well sequenced and this property is not. You're not like taking that in. I can tell you it can make a big difference on your online experience versus a house that starts out maybe, 10 shots of the front. So it takes you forever to get to the inside. And then when you get to the inside, oh, hey, Lauren, how you doing? I was just talking about you and how I was able to come and visit you this week. And it was so special. And, prioritizing family is so important. And I just loved seeing your new little one. So thank you for the nice visit. So sequencing, some agents I've seen online, they have all these pictures of the exterior, and then you get in to the kitchen. You don't even get to the entry, and then you go to the basement, and then you go back outside, and then maybe to the master bedroom, and then you see a picture of a closet or a toilet. And so I am adamant when it comes to promotion, making sure you have a nice sequence online is really important. It's just much more pleasing experience online. So those first impressions, knowing the product, having all the details, getting the right photographer, getting the right pictures, the quality, the sequencing, all of that goes into before we even start promoting the property. So I want to just let you know, as you've heard me talk about the 3 Ps, price, presentation, and promotion. Agents can promote properties all they want, but if they don't have the price and the proper presentation, the promotion isn't going to do it. Let me just tell you. And you need all 3 of these Ps for a successful and positive home selling experience. But today we're talking about that 3rd P, which is promotion. And what I want to talk to you about is not every property is the same. So, we do luxury homes, we do farmland, we do, or farms, we do land with no improvements, we do historic properties, we do condos, we do residential, we do town and singles. And so we do homes, residential that are in an HOA and not an HOA. So you have to have a customized plan. There are some things that, of course, that we do all the time, like we do our nice glossy brochures, we do our floor plans, and a lot of agents for some reason don't do floor plans. I think this is so important when you're buying a home. You've got to see how your furniture and the layout and how you're going to live in the home. So we do floor plans, and this is online and print. So we like to do both. And again, it's all about the details and making sure you're paying attention to all the details. And sometimes it's a little mini brochure, but at least, so we do all those things. We do the Facebook ads, and depending on the property, if we have a luxury home where those homes may linger for a long time, so we might do a luxury magazine that sits in a bank or a doctor's office, or somewhere in the community, because that has a longer shelf life. We're not going to do magazine ads on a condo that we know is going to sell fairly quickly. And then historic, we go to historic websites where we promote people that are looking for historic homes. There's specialized websites for that. There's specialized websites for land. There's specialized websites for farms. So we go and make sure that we have a presence there. So of course, we do the open houses, and we also do a lot of networking, right? We network within our real estate community. There's a lot of private groups that we belong to. And so we're always promoting our properties through our network. So it's, third party online, it's specific websites, it's going to be tailored to that property. So no plan is the same. And here's something I want to talk about. I actually had a family member that called me, and she's like, oh my gosh, my house isn't selling, it's out of the area. And so she wanted to talk to me about it. And one of the things she says, like, Nancy, you all do all the things, right? And that's what I'm trying to impress upon you as a consumer when you're looking for a realtor to promote your property. Don't necessarily get like hooked into just their one thing that they do, because it really has to be customized to your home. Now, some homes are going to be not so customized, but and then making sure that they're going to really spend the time in getting to know your property, your community, your area, so that they can promote all of those details. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, one of the first places we have to have the option to sell, or the opportunity to sell your home, is in the remarks. And that is also really key. That's just, I feel that way is as important, the remarks are as important as the photos. And all about the photos. And so the remarks are important. So it's not just, where you're going to advertise it, how you're going to advertise it. It's about what happens way before that promotional piece. The other thing that I thought is really important to talk to you about is it's really great when things sell the first weekend or the first week or the first 10 days, right? And as a realtor, I have a formula that we always want to meet or beat or meet the average days on the market, because if we go beyond that, that's where it's really going to cost you. And that's why pricing and presentation are so important. So we have a great promotional plan, but if that home, for whatever reason, doesn't sell within that first 10 days, I'm telling you, having a plan B and a plan C is part of our promotional plan. And that is something that we talk about to our sellers. We always want to, hope and plan for the best scenario. But market shifts and change just like that. And sometimes we don't hit it right, or sometimes the market shifts right in the middle of when we're coming to market. I've seen it happen. So you have to be able to adjust. You have to have a plan B and plan C, and you need to talk about that with your seller. You need to have certain expectations, hi Sue, set with the seller, so that they understand that we're here, whether we have number one, yay, it sells in a weekend, or if it sits for a month. We are with you no matter what, and we have plans and processes in place. We always want to be ahead of the market. We always want to be proactive. We always want to have good communication. We always want to be analyzing the data and educating you and informing you every step of the way. So when people think of promotion, they just think, oh, it's about the glossy brochure. No, it is so much more involved than that. And it's a very, very serious part of our job, of what we do in representing our sellers. And this is why Love to List is, I do work with buyers. I've got great buyers. But what I do best and where my skill set really is this consistent, plans and process, how we communicate with people. We have everything dialed in, and it's so customized to your situation. So, and we strategize always, like we're always reevaluating, always thinking, what can we be doing differently? What are the upcoming trends? What are we seeing coming down the pike, anticipating? So promotion is just not, a one or two open houses and, some signs. And, the biggest part, I will tell you, if you guys remember that song, it's all about the bass, whatever that song, I forget who sings it. You guys probably know. But to me, it's all about the follow-up, the follow-up, the follow-up. And they say the fortune is in the follow-up. So the fortune is in the follow-up for our sellers. As a realtor, it is my job to make sure we're following up and understanding if a home is not selling, what do we need to be doing differently? How do we, and it's not just about price, it's so much more that goes into it. But setting those expectations is so important, and having plans in place if things don't go off the way we planned, which we love it when it goes off as we planned, right? That's the best. So I know this, I spent a lot of time on this today and a lot of information. I just hope that the one takeaway, whether you come in the beginning, the middle, or the end, is that promotion isn't exactly what you think. It's a lot more. It's about the realtor understanding the product, all aspects. It's about first impressions. It's about customizing the plan, knowing where to market depending on the property that you have, and understanding the communication with the seller and setting expectations and consistently analyzing where we are. So follow up, communication, and doing all the things right and managing all the details. It's not just about the glossy brochure. Okay, so that's it for the third P of price, presentation, and promotion. Those three P's are really what makes a successful home selling, a successful and positive home selling experience. Okay, I hope you have found this series helpful. I look forward to seeing you next Saturday. In the meantime, thumbs up, lots of love, and keep smiling. Okay, all right, take care, everyone.